What I'd like to do now is introduce Dr. Flint McGlaughlin, our Managing Director and CEO at McLabs, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about how to get the best out of this summit before he gets into his keynote address. Thank you.
Just as I got ready to mic up and go on, an email came in. And I saw the email, and I'll show you, actually. There's did I just do that, or did you do it for me? All right, so I don't have control yet. This is not even in the deck. The next 3 slides are not in the deck. Daniel, wave your hand at them. Daniel, I don't even know your title. What is your title, Daniel? Director of? CEO. He's the CEO. I'll leave the keys on the chair. Believe me. Daniel's I know he's one of our key editors and oversees a lot of the content that's being generated by our group. He got this email, and I want to share it with you. It's not exactly something I'm proud of, but I think you should see it. If nothing else, it's an important disclaimer before you get any more advice from the platform. This was from a junior analyst named Paul Cheney. I'll tell you about more of that later. Let me show you the next slide. When we prepare a web clinic, and we do this regularly, announcing our finds from our research and our experiments, we often sit down and talk about what that should be. Cameras are rolling, people are recording, and we're trying to discern the best way to develop the clinic and announce it and to promote it and then release the discoveries. I was at this session this week with Paul Cheney and a number of our editorial people, and we were talking about the upcoming clinic, and my major role was to go over the outline, to make comments on the content, and to prepare basically my presentation. But I simply was getting the key points, discussing the research, talking about the findings, reviewing it, and then we got into a conversation about the headline.
What about a cumulative lift number here, since we've got 3 case studies, 3 learnings?
Yeah. So put the cumulative lift right here, and run this one as a test, that wording with this wording, and then put something else against it, okay? And understand this, and this is what I would say if I was in a clinic. It's very easy for an experienced marketer, I didn't say expert, but experienced marketer, who has a lot of background in testing, an expert tester, to come close to picking the right headline over a weak headline, a strong headline over a weak headline. They can do that most of the time. But the minute you have 2 strong headlines, then it's hard to predict, and it requires an experiment. Once you have a headline that reaches a certain zone, a certain skill zone, there's no way for me to predict which one's going to win, because I can't get inside the mystery of the audience's mind well enough to guess that. So this is a good headline. That's a good one. All of our headlines have had what I would say a statement after the colon. Instead, what we've done here is we've used commas to separate the biggest boosts and put them all at once. 3 case studies. People like that, more case studies. 3 learnings. That's what we're going to get together. 300% lift. The only thing I think I could improve learnings. 3
discoveries.
3 discoveries. And I'm interested if that approach beats the kind of flowing approach that we have over here. That's what, we have almost no headlines of this design style, which is why that interests me. And so one of the things that I would say that's a learning from this is the way I'm explaining the fact that once you get in the zone, no one's going to be the expert every time, or you're testing weak against strong. You're not testing strong against strong. That's a learning. That's a principle. That's important. It should be in the culture of the organization. The second thing that I think you can get out of this is that the collaborative session shouldn't be simply who's got the fastest gun, i.e., who's got the greatest skill, but it should be more foundational, level 2 thinking. What kind of headline? It should be based on hypothesis, based on theory, and that's the discussion that should be going on in a company. And if you sit in the average boardroom or marketing room, that's not what's happening. They're posturing instead of asking these kinds of questions, like, instead of a fluid statement, kind of list of the most powerful words produce the highest return, you know, that kind of thinking. I want to know the answer to that. It'll influence headlines in the future.
Now, this was done last week. And as I got ready to go up, Daniel, in his infinite wisdom, wanting to give me a confidence boost before I stepped onto the platform, showed me the test results. And they are encapsulated in a single sentence in young Paul's email. Here it is. Dude, my clinic headline beat Flint's by 92.2%. And then he has the most compelling one-word sentence. Hemingway said, make every word tell. The most compelling one-word sentence I've read for at least a month. Significant. So, first of all, I share that with you by way of confession, because it may be that you could get a refund and get out of here before you waste any more of your money. The second thing I share it with you is because, listen to me, there are no expert marketers. There are only experienced testers. And the goal of an experiment is not to get a conversion lift. The goal of an experiment is to get a customer learning. And in order to get maximum learnings, you must run tests that eliminate possibilities for your hypothesis. And this is natural around here.